All right, you guys ready?
No.
Funny.
Oh my god.
So to start the dialogue, let's talk about. You guys are all in high school, right? You know, so, yeah. Some of you in college, right? Yeah. And I just wanted to know, like, your experience of being in Chicago and in your neighborhoods, and how's life like going to school and trying to master, you know, being a good student in school and also coming from different types of neighborhoods. Explain on that if you can. Yeah.
Well, I can speak on being from Inglewood. I know as I go to school every day, I see the segregation in Chicago within the train system and within the downtown area and going back to the south side area, back to Inglewood. And it's pretty difficult in seeing that our main people of Chicago say Chicago is a very diverse city, but the thing is, we have so much segregation within our crowds, even in our school system, which makes it worse because we're trying to teach our students to diversify themselves, but we're only teaching them to talk to students who they associate themselves with. And most of the schools in Chicago, which are public schools, they are definitely segregated.
Yeah. And I see that you brought up Inglewood. Who knows all the talk about Inglewood right now in Chicago?
Well, a lot of people talk about how it's Chirac, and I can't say that it's really Chirac because I feel safe in my neighborhood. There are good people. They say there's not a lot of good qualities or good things that happen in Inglewood. There are students that go to college. There are students that have jobs. It's up to you to definitely vouch for yourself and want to do something in life.
I disagree with this point completely because although I could say that, yeah, it's up to yourselves, people are also caught in unfortunate situations where they can't do anything about it. I know for myself, I used to volunteer a lot in the back of the yards, and one night when I was going home, I had the unfortunate experience of being in the middle of a gunfight, so it's not like I was looking for it, but it happens.
As a Chicago scholar, I also live in Inglewood as well, and I agree with Daniel that anything that you do, it is a direct result of your own self. Because a lot of people that live in Inglewood, you only become a product of your environment, good or bad, because of yourself. If you choose to be with gangs, then that's what you choose to do. But if you choose to go to school, find people to network with, find mentors, then that is also what you will do. I think Inglewood is not such a bad place. Of course, every neighborhood has its flaws, but Inglewood is not that bad, but it does has violence.
And another thing, what she said, it's not that bad. It's just because the news portrays it as being bad.
Yeah.
You do not hear about the robberies or people getting raped on the north side. The only thing they're going to have is, well, someone got shot on the south side, and it's something you hear every day. This is not something that comes around once in a year. Unlike on the north side, they don't speak about all the rapings, the robberies, and all of that stuff, but they love to portray what people like to hear about. And I know some of my friends, their parents would never send them to Inglewood just because the news tells them that, well, Inglewood, you're going to get shot there. There's no businesses in Inglewood. And this is what happens, and this is what people hear. And some people want to hear this stuff. So Inglewood can never come up in the world just because people portray it as somewhere of violence and harm.
Yeah, I see both of their points that Johnny makes and Daniel. Because I had the fortunate experience. I'm from the West Side, from Columbus School. But I moved when I was 11, 12, because so fully went through our window. My mom was like, we're out of here. So I live on the Southwest Side by Oak Lawn, Burbank, Midway train. So, Midway, but that little gay sound, so no. But, and then I went to school at Uplift for a 7th and 8th grade year. And I went to school at Westinghouse for all 4 years of high school, but I lived on the south side. And then my brothers went to Urban Prep in Inglewood. So I had the fortunate experience of being everywhere in the city, basically. And I really agree with your point, because at Uplift, it's gangs all up there. It's like, I know it's like the Moles have a really big territory. And there's a lot of bad things that happen up there daily. And they had fights after school all the time. So I know, completely understand where you come from. And then being a student and a scholar, I know where you come from. Because like, when I was in high school, I was really like to just know about things and just explore things. And I'm still like that. But now I want to make more money. But right now, when I was younger, I was like, yes, I want to go here and there. And if you guys ever heard of the IT Boarding Scholars Academy,
Yeah.
I did that. I was in the inaugural class of that. And so being in that program, I got if you don't know who Maria Spine is, she's the director of that program. I went on a lot of like educational trips with her. And you just see like a lot of the times I was the only black female in like the whole crowd. And it'd be crowds of like old white men or just white men and women. And it makes you feel some type of way, because it's like people come up to me and I had got really stereotypical questions like, how does it feel to be the only black person here? And I want to be like, how does it feel to be the only gray hair person here? Like, I really want to be like you get that type of sense. And then you see how segregated the city is, because like the north side is a lot of like immigrants. There's a lot of Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ethiopians. And it's really mixed, and then it's like the more segregated white part of the north side, if you're like in Bucktown or those areas, and then or Lincoln Park. But Lincoln Park is a little bit more diverse, but like Roger Park, some parts of Rogers Park is not. But then you get to like the west side and the south side that's been categorized as like these very black neighborhoods, and then you get like Little Village that's kind of south and kind of west, but it's west side. So. And then it's just like these big dynamics, because a lot of the news, like you said, like they just feature like the Wild 100s, where it's like guns and shooting all the time. But like you said, if you want to strive for good things, it's gonna happen. Because going to Westinghouse, a lot of kids came from the hood, and they went to my school, and a lot of them are either in community college, a 4-year college or university, or working really hard. So, and all of these kids came from bad backgrounds, and some of them still like not on a straight, edge to success, on like the right path. But a lot of these students that come from really bad neighborhoods are trying. So I understand when people be like, they understand that people who come from like a really segregated neighborhood understand the state that you don't have to be a product of your neighborhood, because you really don't. Because a lot of people in my high school, they come from the hood. I come from the hood. Now I rep it hard. Like Columbus Park, my mom grew up there. My grandma semi grew up there. So it's just like they have their foundation 30 years on one block. So, and me being like a female who is away at school right now, and so you don't have to be. But then I understand what you're saying. It's like some people are really stuck in their ways, and some people really are products of their neighborhood, and it's unfortunate because you shouldn't be, caught in the middle of a gunfire. That's no one should be able to. But then that's like the realization that sometimes even kids are like caught up in their crossfire, and that's their lives that they live. And even though it's portrayed like that on the news, like, oh,